Hi, so Mondays are just spent being a little bit more mindful of both our breath and our movement, and hopefully setting you up for the week with a sense of stillness. So if cross-legged is comfortable for you, start there, or if you want to kneel or be on a chair, that's up to you. And just nestle your sit bones down into the floor or chair, and just find that length through the spine. And balance your head on your shoulders. And gently, if you feel comfortable to do so, close your eyes. Or just find a gaze somewhere out in front of you. And just take a moment to bring your awareness inwards. And begin to bring your attention to the breath. As soon as we do that, knowing that we're likely to try and change or alter it in some way. But just try to notice how it is for you right now. Where you notice the expansion or the stretch perhaps on the chest wall or into the tummy. Perhaps in the shoulders. Notice if you're breathing in through the nose or mouth or both. And the rhythm of your breath. And then gently just going through the body in a body scan, briefly checking in with the top of your head, the back of the skull, the neck, the shoulders, your spine, your pelvis, your abdomen, the contact of your sit bones on the floor or chair, and perhaps your feet with the floor. Notice any points of contact with one another or any surfaces that you're on. And now come back to the breath. Opening your eyes gently. And then from here we're going to just come down onto our back, and we're going to do that through side lying just to protect our back, and you might want your 1-inch head cushion or a towel to do so. And just finding a comfortable position for you, letting the head sink into that little cushion, and you can have the legs out straight or on a cushion if that's more comfortable for you, or them bent slightly. And let the hands just rest on the rib cage. And now we're going to check in with our body in this position. Noticing the weight of the back of the skull against the cushion or towel underneath you. Notice the weight of the head. Scanning down the neck. And the contact of the shoulder blades on the floor. Comparing one side with the other. Notice the weight in one elbow compared with the other. Become aware of the rib cage resting on the floor underneath you. And the alignment of your spine to the pelvis. Perhaps noticing any tension in the low back or pelvis. Become aware of the legs, tracking down to the feet. And become aware of the contact of the feet on the floor. Whether it's just the heels if your legs are out straight, or the whole of the foot. And then bring your awareness back to the breath, checking in with how the breath feels for you without trying to change it at all. Perhaps noticing any thoughts coming into the mind, and that is perfectly normal. Just bring your attention back to the focus of the breath. Kindly, without judgment of those thoughts, just come back to the breath. And then here, all we're going to start to do is we're going to start to lift the chin. And then start to drop the chin. Without lifting your head away from that cushion underneath you. It should feel like the back of the skull slides down the towel as you look up. And tip the head back. And then the back of the skull slides up that towel or cushion as you look towards your knees. And this doesn't have to be into end ranges. Almost just starting to become aware of how this feels for you. Exploring any discomfort. Or just noticing how it feels without trying to push the movements too far. And come back to center. And now, keeping the head still, I want you just to look behind you. And you don't need to put those eyes under too much pressure, just have a little look. And then you're going to look down. So my head isn't moving, my nose isn't moving, it's just my eyeballs going up and down. And again, don't try and overstretch those eyes, okay? Eye muscles are only little. And then down and then back to center. And then just start to roll your head to one side. Again, just exploring gently towards the end of range, but without trying to create tension. Just rolling side to side. Back to center. And now you're going to look, so the head stays still to the left, and then look to the right. Left. And right, one more here, and right, come back to center. This time we're going to combine those movements, so you're going to look behind you and then join in by lifting the chin. Then look down, that leads the movement, and then drop the chin. Look up and lift. Look down, and then back to center. We're going to look to the left and turn the head to carry on that movement. Then look to the right and follow. Again, not overstraining the eyes. Look to the left and follow, and look to the right, and then back to center. Closing your eyes, and now just become aware of how the back of the skull feels, scanning down the back of the neck, the shoulders, the rib cage. And then here we're just going to hug one leg in towards our chest and the other. And just roll the knees one side and to the other. And then from here, let one leg lower and the other leg lower. And I'm not worried too much about your pelvic alignment. We're just going to pick one leg up and let the knee just roll a little bit into your chest, and the other one, and then lower and lower. So just scooping up, and lower. And just noticing if the back is arching or flattening without trying to change it. But as you lower a leg, just make sure you're not hinging at any one point in the back. Nice, and just switching your leading leg. Last one here. Hug and hold, and we're going to rock side to side. And then lower one leg and the other. Bring those arms out at shoulder height, palms up to the ceiling, resting on the floor. And the knees and feet glued together. Just take a moment to notice the breath. And then nice and gently, and we're not going all the way over, this isn't an extreme movement, I just want you to rock the knees to one side, and then rock through the feet, and roll onto the other side. So just swinging here with ease, one side to the other. Just being very mindful of what's helping you lift the pelvis and lower. And just noticing the weight of the pelvis on the mat, sinking it down into the floor and then away. Sink and away and back to center. Then bring your arms by the side of you, and we're going to leave the palms facing upwards, noticing the back of the arms on the mat. Take a moment to close your eyes and check in with the body. And then just notice the space between your toes, and you might want to scoot your heels towards your sit bones slightly to get a little bit of purchase to roll through the spine and up. And we're not forcing that imprint. Think more about lengthening the knees. And just hold the bridge there. And then really softly, as you sigh out, just think about sinking the rib cage and letting the spine just drop onto the mat underneath you and release. So small little rolls up, just lengthening the knees, thinking about an openness through the front of the hips. Openness through the chest, letting the fingertips stay relaxed but open. And then just sighing out and rolling back down. Last two here. Nice breath in, find the length through the knees, and then sigh out, letting the rib cage roll onto the mat and release. And last one. Find the length through the knees, open through the chest, no tension, just breath in And then exhale, roll and release. Well done. And then allow the hands to rest on your rib cage and check in with the body. We're going to turn onto our side, and you're going to want to roll your towel up into a chunky about 4 inches, and just have your hand out in front of you. Knees just comfortably bent, like you're just comfortable in your bed. And here we're going to place our hand behind our forehead. And then all we're going to do here is just roll the head round the cushion and take the elbow back. And just gently allow the knees to stay stacked. So you're rotating through the rib cage without any pressure into the low back. And then you're going to roll forward. So we open up, just noticing the opening through the front of the chest, and then roll down. Head stays heavy on that cushion. And last one here, open up. And back to center. From here, we're going to bring ourselves onto the other side. So I'm going to turn away from you. Arm goes out in front. Hand comes around the back of the head. Knees just comfortably bent out in front of you, and roll your head round the cushion as you just open up. And then roll forward. And then open. And close. Last 2, open, breath in. And close. Last 1, breath in at that nice opening through the rib cage. Don't have to spiral into that low back. And close. Then here, take that chunky cushion out and go back onto your little one. Hands on your rib cage, let your legs rest out. And just notice and check in with the back of the skull on the cushion. Notice how the shoulders feel, the elbows, the rib cage. Notice the weight of the pelvis. And then just checking in with your breath. Is it different at all? Then from here, just roll onto your side. Gently come up onto all fours. Just stay softly here for a moment. You might feel dizzy. And then scoop up and find your sitting position, whether that be on a chair or back into your cross-legged. Just plant the sit bones and find that length through the spine. Either with your eyes in a nice low gaze or with them closed. Take a moment here to scan through the body. Checking in with the top of the head. And then the back of the skull, the neck, the shoulders, your spine, your pelvis, your contact points with any surfaces or with each other. And then for just a minute here, sit with the breath, letting it find its natural rhythm. Perhaps noticing if it's changed at all for you. Thoughts will come into the mind, and that's perfectly normal. Just acknowledge each thought, but don't get drawn into it. Just let it go, like watching a car drive past. Let that thought move on. Bringing the attention just back to the breath as best you can. And as we close this gentle meditation, be aware of the sense of stillness we created and how you can come back to this at any time through your week. Gently opening your eyes, bringing yourself back into the awareness of the room. Have a lovely week.